Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician. Today we're going to be going back into the Harbor Freight website and checking out some of the new items that they've released over the last few weeks. I like to do these videos, I don't know, once every 3-4 weeks or so, and give it some time for some new items to pop up. Harbor Freight does a pretty good job of releasing a decent amount of items every single month, whether that just be color changes or minor changes to items they already have, or just all new items altogether. They've been expanding quite a bit over the last few years, so we're going to go start at the top of the list. When you go to the website, click on new tools. The top of the list is going to be the newest items released. The further you go down, the older the items are going to get. So as we go down, we'll reach the point where we started our last video and we'll stop there. So first item up that they've released are their insulated water resistant work gloves for $15. They have two sizes available as of right now, large and extra large. And this is going to be not great for like mechanics or anything of those sorts, but if you do any outdoor work, construction work, lumber work, things like that, these are going to be great. A little bit more durable than some of their other gloves. Like I said, they're water resistant. They look like pretty decent gloves for $15. Touchscreen compatible with index knuckles, fully insulated with 60-gram lining, water resistant protective layer, and an easy pull tab to get them on and off. A nice set of heavy duty gloves for a pretty decent price. Next up is the weather resistant tarp. They have tons and tons of tarps available. This is a 16-foot by 20-foot, and like I said, they're extreme duty for $55. Not bad. They do have pretty good selection of cheap tarps and some pretty decent quality tarps as well. So they have basically anything that you would need when it comes to tarps. Here they have another generator storage cover. This is the medium size. They did release another one maybe a month or so ago, and this one's at $15. And this is great, if you're not able, even if you are able to store like your generator in the shed or anything like that, where it's still a semi, in the elements, a nice cover is good to always have, especially if you're storing it over the winter time or anything like that. If you're not consistently using it, it is nice to keep it kind of covered up. They also released a 25-foot extension cord for their generators. This 30 amp 10x3, so it's 10 gauge, it's 3-cord, compatible with the Predator 5,000 watt dual feed super quiet inverter generator, the 3,500 watt super quiet inverter generator, and the 4550 inverter generator. I'm not sure if it'll work with any of the other generators out there. It might be a specific plug type. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really use generators like that, but this one is at $40 and has 5 stars with 1 review. So just some up top, first row is just kind of some very basic items that they've released. As we move down, they have the new Bauer 17-inch variable speed drill press with light. This is at $500, so not cheap, but it is probably one of their nicest drill presses that they have available now. They do have some very cheap and smaller options, but I do like what they're doing with Bauer and Hercules and expanding into many other types of tools, and this is nice to see. But the thing is, when it gets into certain tools, it's always best to just check other brands, even the big name brands, because sometimes when you catch those on sale, you can get them for almost the same price, or sometimes it's just worth paying that extra little bit for that big name brand. But sometimes these Bauer and Hercules tools, even without a discount, but you can almost always get a discount, but even without them, a lot of the times they're a good bang for your buck. And back in the day, when it came to, carpentry tools, well, a lot of their cheaper stuff was not good. Now they have some decent price stuff that is actually quite reliable, so I do like to see this expansion. Here you can see some of their other smaller ones. They have a 12-inch and a 10-inch for the Bauer lineup, and a little bit cheaper price point there. Product overview: it's a 1.2 horsepower 8-amp motor, variable speed from 300 to 3100 RPM. The work table is 13 by 13 with a 45-degree tilt left and right. Crosshair laser system. It's got a 4 3/4-inch travel for the drill, built-in LED, quick adjust thread depths, durable cast iron base table. So honestly, it seems like a pretty well-equipped little drill press. Now, I haven't looked at a whole lot of drill presses lately, but here they compare it to the Grizzly Industrial, which is at $1,200. I'm not sure if I would compare it to that, but $500 doesn't seem like a bad deal for this size and the features that are included with it. They do have the new Icon 1000 lumen dual-sided rechargeable slim bar light with UV inspection. Harbor Freight has released a ridiculous amount of lights in the last couple of years with Braun and Icon, and they have an enormous amount of lights. And sometimes what you see in your store might not be everything that they actually have. They have a ton. And this does seem nice. I'm okay with the design. I don't like that this is kind of like it's collapsed. It doesn't fully close. That's kind of how it is when you go all the way one direction and then you can take it all the way the other direction, and it just kind of creates that V shape. But it is a light bar on each side, and it does look like there's a light on the bottom. That may be the UV light. We'll check out here in just 1 second. It does have magnets and a hook on it as well. There you can see that a little bit better. It is weird that it mentions UV, but it doesn't actually show the UV light in. I'm sure a lot of people would like to see that in use. As far as some of the information, it's got 4 light modes: high CRI light for paint and detail work, UV light for leak detection, flashlight for general inspection, and dual light for wide area lighting. And it delivers up to 1000 lumens, and I'm sure that's probably both sides lit up, so it's not like 1000 lumens in one specific area. 270 degrees of rotation for the head, strong magnetic base, 360 degrees of rotating for the hook, dimmable light switch, IP65 rated for water resistance, USB-C rechargeable, battery fuel gauge display as well. I'm sure you guys saw that right back here. I think it's an okay design. I think it's got some nice features. I don't care for that being its fully closed design, but it is what it is. I feel like that might get broken, or I don't know. But that one is at $60. Then they've released a few miscellaneous items here. We have a 4.5 inch by 4 by 3/4 inch crimp steel wire drum for surface conditioning tools. Warriors released some longwood drill bits for $15. Hercules with their 3 5/8 carbide grit half moon blade for the oscillating multi-tool, $10. If you guys have used some of the oscillating multi-tool blades and things like that, please let me know your guys' thoughts on them. I do want to pick up a few different designs and would like a little bit of input on those blades available at Harbor Freight, if they're worth it or just going with something more name brand. Then they've released the 6-in-1 stubby multi-bit screwdriver from Doyle. I actually like a lot of the Doyle lineup. I think they've done a really good job on it. This is an $8 stubby screwdriver. There you can see it's got the removable shaft with 2 bits with a couple of Phillips and a couple slotted. For the slotted, you have the 3/16 and 1/4 inch, and then the Phillips is 1 and 2. And if you guys follow the channel and have listened to any of my reviews, you guys know I actually prefer a stubby screwdriver. Anytime I can get as close to the fastener as possible, the more control, the more speed I have. I don't like using a longer screwdriver than necessary. And so finding a good quality stubby is always really nice. This one doesn't seem too bad. I like kind of its more classic handle design here, but it's got kind of a more up-to-date modern grip on it than some of the more classic designs. So I think it's a pretty good little screwdriver. Here we have another blade for the oscillating multi-tool from Hercules. This is 1 1/4 inch tapered scraper blade for $8. Then Atlas has released their 80-volt brushless cordless 9-inch cutoff saw kit with 4 amp-hour battery and rapid charger for $450. I don't have any experience with the Atlas stuff. I know a few people that have used them and have been pleased with them, but there are quite a few outdoor cordless electric tools available now. So if you guys have any experience with this Atlas stuff, please let me know your guys' thoughts. This cutoff tool has a brushless motor that delivers 4 times the power to cut metal, reinforced concrete, masonry, and rebar. The kit includes an 80-volt 4 amp-hour extreme performance lithium-ion battery and an 80-volt rapid charger, 6,500 RPM, 5 positions for the guard, heavy load indicator light for optimal cutting speed, integrated water feed system, gear drive system reduces vibration, sealed battery box for added protection. I mean, it seems like pretty decent. I haven't really looked into these big masonry or concrete saws. Not really work that I do, so I don't have experience, not just with Atlas, but this, but this may be a great deal for some of those out there that does that type of work, maybe part-time or something like that. I'm not sure how the Atlas brand would hold up in the professional field, but I think anybody that may do it part-time or does a lot of that stuff for themselves may find this to be a good deal at $450. It does have 5 stars at 2 ratings already. Next up, we have the Bauer 12 amp 6-inch benchtop jointer at $280. It's got almost 5 stars at 11 ratings. So this was probably released shortly after we did the previous video. As far as some of the information, it's a 12 amp motor with up to 9,000 RPM, 12 4-sided high-speed steel cutters, built-in aluminum fence with common fence stops at 45, 90, and 135 degrees, 6-inch max cut width, and 1/8-inch max depth, convenient table lock, heavy-duty base, and onboard chip blower, and 2.5-inch dust port. At $280, I do know some of these can get quite expensive. Here they compared to the Craftsman one at $350. Probably very comparable as far as quality compared to the Craftsman, so it may be a good deal. Is this something you would consider for a DIY or weekend warrior or somebody that does a mediocre amount of work? Here they have their new massive mini steel toolbox. This one is the red. They do have it available in black and blue as well. This convenient toolbox holds a whopping 5 pounds of hand tools and accessories per drawer, so 10 pounds total. It's kind of more like a gift item, I suppose, than it is, you know, something that you would actually use. But yeah, that's at $18. Then we got a few Hercules items. You got a masonry drill bit set, 6-piece set for $15, a 7-inch rotary polishing backing pad for $10, and then another Hercules 3.5-inch diamond grit grout blade for the oscillating multi-tool, once again at $10, just like the other blades that we looked at. And this is where we started the previous video that we did with the Quinn 3/4-inch drive accessory kit. So quite a few accessories as far as Hercules, and a couple from Warrior. Got a screwdriver from Doyle, an additional tool from Atlas, and then an Icon item and a Bauer item. So as I always like to see what Harbor Freight has released, so I find it very interesting and always enjoy a good deal when I can find one. So if you guys enjoyed, please make sure to smash that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below of your guys' thoughts on some of these items, or if you guys have any experience with some similar brands, or if you would recommend some of those Hercules blades that I asked about. And if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.